Okay, exactly 3 o'clock. A very good afternoon to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. So today is Sunday, 24th July 2022. We'll be doing our sharing from this book, Lesson 71, Sutra of Infinite Meaning, 无量义经, dated 24 August 2021. We are at page 27. Okay, as usual, we will have our pre-puja. Let us now compose our mind, develop the faith, sada, virya, then mindfully we shall commence the puja chanting. Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛。Namo 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 观世音菩萨。Namo 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 阿弥陀佛。Namo 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 弥勒佛。Namo 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 普贤菩萨。Namo 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 地藏王菩萨。Namo 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 佛菩萨。Namo 佛菩萨。Namo 佛菩萨。Arahang Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami. Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Buddhang Saranang Gacchami. Dhammang Saranang Gacchami. Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. Dutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami. Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami. Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. Tatiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami. Tatiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami. Tatiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Kamesu Miccācara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Musawada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Surameraya Majapamadatana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let's pay respect to Puja. Buddhang Pujeni. Dhammang Pujeni. Sanghang Puja. Okay, y'all can be seated. Just relax body and mind and maintain some form of awareness and attention. Then we will have our Puja chanting. Turn to page 6. We will recite the invocation to the Devas. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in their entirety, let the deities and Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakawalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddamang Muni Rajasa Sunantu Sakamokadang Dhamma Sabanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Sabanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Sabanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa Iti peso Bhagava Arahang Sama Sambuddho Vijja Charana Sampano Sugato Lokavido Anuttaro Purisa Dhammasarati Satta Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavate Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipasiko Hopanayiko Pacyatang Veditabu Vinohiti Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujupatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Nyaya Patipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Samici Patipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yadidang Chatari Purisa Yogani Atta Purisa Pukala Esa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakineyo Anjali Karaneyo Anutarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, all can be seated, and now we will continue from where we stopped. Page 27 of this book. Lesson 71, Sutra of Infinite Meaning, 无量义经. We shall continue with the second paragraph. Yeah, second paragraph. The one starting with in this world. In this world, whether in time, space, or among people, new things constantly arise and cease. So this underlying section is the Sutra part, the one that is without any underlining or just normal font. That one is my added explanation. So according to the Sutra, in this world, it says, means our existential world, our condition arising world, means where our civilization is, the universe as it is today. Whether in time, space, or among people, new things constantly arise and cease. So this statement is very true, yeah? Where the universe is so immense, so extensive. So whether in time, space, or among people, new things constantly arise and cease. Then they arise again, continuing endlessly to give rise to good and evil phenomena or duality. The Buddha come into this world to explain the difference between these two. That's how the Buddha's teaching become relevant and useful, so that we can cultivate the field of blessing to be a blessing to all. This field of blessing comes with wisdom and good deeds. So the good and evil phenomena, or what we call duality, they actually exist all the time. So the duty of the Buddha, his role is basically to come to this world to explain the difference between the two, the good and the evil, and how to really develop the understanding of them and cultivate accordingly to develop the wisdom to understand life and to lead the noble life, the heedful life. So this is how the Buddha's teaching can become very relevant and useful. Then when you cultivate it accordingly, you can develop great blessings, great wholesomeness, merits, and all those things. And through cultivating the field of blessings, you can be a blessing to all. Then we read on. In this world, whether in time, space, or among people, new things constantly arise and cease, which we have gone through. This has a repeat. The second that just passed may be said to have ceased. The second that follow can be said to be arising. The sentence I just spoke has ended, and the next sentence is now beginning. At every instant, new thoughts continue to arise, and at the same time, old thoughts continue to cease. In the world, in everything from people to matter to object, new things constantly arise and cease, and then arise again. So without mindfulness, we are not in the position to understand all this or capable of being aware of all this happening from moment to moment. It's just like I always share with you all, because through my own cultivation, my own realization, I came to a very profound awakening. I realized the whole existential world, our conditioned world, is not what we think. That's why the Buddha is so wise. He said, this is a conditioned world, dependent, originating, condition arising, causal phenomenon. Whatever that arises, there are causes and conditions behind. Then as I develop this ability to be aware, to be mindful, my nature come to realize moment to moment, things arise and pass away. Then nature is such. Existence can be actually defined in terms of time related. To exist is to go through time. Then to define the whole spectrum of time, we already established the 3 period of time. It will be covered under the whole spectrum of time. Either is the past, or the present moment, or the future. So these 3 cover the whole spectrum of time. Then we look at these 3 periods. Which is the reality? The past is already gone, no more a reality. Future, yet to come, haven't happened yet, also not a reality. So the only reality is the moment. Moment to moment, time passes by. New things keep on arising and passing away. What are you doing? This is the only reality. Bear that in mind. Try to develop the deep understanding. Then you will suddenly awaken to the unreality of life and existence. The empty nature of existence means things do happen, things exist and pass away. They come and they go. That's why the Buddha says it's all dependent, originating, condition arising, cause of phenomenon. And because of that, it's impermanent. And the only reality is the present moment. So how stable is the present moment? Split second is there and gone. It arrives, it passes away. It arrives and it passes away. It has been like that since the beginningless period in time until now. So if everything within the conditioned world is such, then how real can life be? Because the only reality, which is the present moment, is so transient. It just come and go, come and go. Then, like I say, if you were to reflect, contemplate, and ask yourself, who are you? What are you? Of course, we cannot deny that since birth until now, we have been living, existing until now. But then my next question is, are these existence that we have gone through real? Of course, at that time when it arises and passes away, it was as real as it can be. But then, since birth until now, when you were very young until now, you look back, you can only recall through memory. And there is no reality. It's just memory. Without memory, all this as good as doesn't exist. Although it can be recorded as history for knowledge and all those things. So when we see the transient nature of existence, we see clearly through the reality and the delusion in clinging, grasping, and holding on to things. This is not what it is. The reality is, even the only reality, which is the present moment, is so transient. So how real can life be? How real can existence be? That's why everything come and go, arise and pass away. It's a phenomenal of consciousness. Dependent on condition, it arises. When conditions cease to be, it ceases. Every phenomenon exhibit the same characteristics. And if you cling on to it, hold on to it, and want things your way, which is not nature's condition or nature's way, then you develop craving, attachment, clinging, grasping. That's how you suffer. Because the nature's law that operate will only arise based on nature's condition. If you want things your way, which is not in accordance with nature's way, you suffer. So see this with a meditative mind, with awareness clearly. from moment to moment, silent, develop awareness. Then suddenly you will awaken to the reality of life and existence. Everything is not what you think. It's just that moment, so transient, so like unstable, because it split second is gone. Split second is gone. Every moment that we call the present moment, they cannot last. That's why all this phenomenal world of impermanence, phenomenal world of consciousness, they have their condition. The supporting condition that supported its existence is arising and passing away. So when you are mindful, aware, and silent, you witness all this, then you awaken to their universal characteristic. You insight into phenomena and awaken to their three universal characteristics. That's why you will come to understand why the Buddha said everything is dependent, originating, condition, arising, causal phenomena. Therefore, they are impermanent. And things that are impermanent, you cannot cling onto it, grasp onto it and say, this is me, this is I. There is not a permanent, unchanging entity. They don't really exist. They are unreal. Dependent on condition, they evolve, transform, and change. So how can it be a permanent, unchanging entity for you to cling on to, hold on to, and say, this is me, this is I. Therefore, all this can be mine. There is no such thing. Of course, within the conditioned world, they have their condition number. The form and mind is subject to the law of karma, which recognizes relationship. But in ultimate truth, ultimate reality, when you realize the unconditioned, when your mundane mind ceases and you awaken to the unconditioned number, then you realize, he know you, he know me, everything does not exist. There is no mark of a self, no mark of others, and no mark of Dhamma, or existence, or life. Whatever the mundane mind create doesn't exist within the ultimate truth, or true emptiness, the unconditioned. So hopefully, with this sharing, you can develop better understanding. We go back to the notes. Okay. And the next section is 3.3.1.8. So here I try to explain to you all what samsara is, what karma is, and what affliction is. All this only arises because there is ignorance. Samsara means our birth and death, our evolution within the existential world, condition arising world. Or sometimes they call the ocean of birth and death, samsara. Then how did it happen? It happened because of ignorance, delusion, that condition, karmic volition. That's why the law of karma has its ability to play its role, leading to afflictions. Then I read on. The underlying italic words are from the Sutra. In our daily living, things all around us are arising and ceasing every second. Yet we are unaware of this. You see how deluded living beings are. Because of what? Heedless thinking, heedlessness. Because we lack mindfulness within, we lack awareness within. Then the Sutta continues. During the brief span of the time between birth and death, and their death, the arising and ceasing of their life means the life force moments. Sentient beings continue to create karma, accumulate afflictions, and ignorant, and be dragged along by karmic force down the ever-flowing river of time. That's why this is called samsara, existence. As a result, we constantly hear about and witness natural and man-made disaster, as well as conflict among people or living beings. This is an example of how things continue on endlessly to give rise to good and evil phenomena. Then at that time I say, okay, I think we stop here because we have to continue with the meditation. So now I will read on. It's okay. I will read on. Meditation reporting and Q&A session. After the 45 minutes of meditation, we have the Q&A. Now I will open up the class for meditation reporting and questions and answers session. You can also share whatever Dhamma in daily life experience that you have. Whoever wants to come in can just come in. This one is still the Zoom session. Okay, then Jing, I think, said, can I say something? I said, yes, can, no problem. And this one, normal underline, not in italic, is by the diameter, Jing. It was said in the book, constantly there is this arising and ceasing phenomenon happening, yet we are not aware of it. What I want to share is, during one of my so-called daily cultivation in daily life, you know this oximeter, right? Yeah? I want to use the oximeter, but I never really used it before. I just started to use it sometime last week. It was with me, but I didn't go and put on the battery and use it. So I recently started testing it and trying it out to find out what my oxygen level was. So I use it and put in my finger. Anyway, the manual's words are too small to read, and my eyesight is also not good. So I didn't read the manual. I just do it, test it myself, try it out. So the reading shows like 97, sometimes 98, sometimes 99. Then I reply, that's good. Reading above 95 is really good. Then the next section is a report by Sister Jing about feeling pulsation and vibration. And then just a few days ago, I sat down and tried. Then, do you know what happened? Suddenly the awareness at the finger, like you say, arising and ceasing, arising and ceasing, arising and ceasing. The sensation was so strong. Then I replied, I said, Sadhu, you can feel the vibration and the pulse. That is because your whole body has the pulsation. In fact, our whole tactile body, every part of it, is in the state of vibration, whether you are aware or not, depend on your level of awareness. We call it the pulse of life. That is our life force arising from our heartbeat area. Yeah, around our heart, where you feel your heartbeat, that one, we call it the area where the life force comes in. We sometimes call it the seat of consciousness, where the consciousness arises and passes away. S-E-A-T, not S-E-E-D. When they do the translation, they put in the words S-E-E-D. No, not that one. S-E-A-T, the seat of consciousness. It triggers off and sends the blood to all the organs to nourish them. So all the organs and locations within our body where there are these arteries and veins, you can receive the blood You can feel the vibration. So all this pulsation or vibration, if you have trained your mind to be mindful, to be aware, you can feel them. Even when you are lying down to rest, there is a lot of vibration within your entire body. Not only the place that is in contact with the cushion or with the bed or with whatever you sit on, the couch or whatever. Even your heart area, the other tactile activity are there within you. You can feel them all. The vibration is very clear. That is why when you are sensitive, when put on the oximeter, you can sense it. The movement, the activity. So sadhu to you. So you can feel them. Very good, sadhu. Then Pucheng replied, yes, I don't know what the oximeter is doing. It's just a black box to me. But when I put the finger in, instead of the oximeter giving me a reading, I am reading my own pulsation. Do you know what I mean? It was like as long as I can feel it, it keeps on pulsating. It's arising, ceasing, arising, ceasing. So this movement is what we call the birth and death of the pulse of life. Every moment, every instant, there is this birth and death, the coming and the going, the arising and the passing away. Our breath is the same, the in and out breath. So all these are life phenomena, life activity. Yeah. Okay, then I read on. Then I reply, your ability to have such sensitivity to be aware is very good. That's why when I read the sharing from this book, The Essence of Infinite Meaning, teachings on the adapted verse of the Sutra of Infinite or Innumerable Meanings, that verse that says the phenomena they keep on arising, etc. You straight away can understand, but most people are hardly aware. They don't really perceive it or know what is happening. They are mostly too busy thinking, planning, heedless, and worrying about life. So much so they never live life. So that meaning is very deep. If you are not aware, it means you existed through life. Indirectly, you are not awake, living life. You may be conscious of life, but you are most of the time lost in thought because you are not aware, which means you are not really living life. Because to me, to live life is to be aware. Then only you live. Otherwise, you are lost in thought, heedless. You are not aware. Not aware means heedless or indirectly unconscious of what life is. So that understanding is very important. I used to share this understanding with Kayamitas in the early days. I said, you may be conscious that you are alive, but are you aware of life? Meaning, are you truly aware and living life? Most people never live life. Why? Because they are heedless, they are lost in thought, and they are hardly aware. So I always use the word, they existed through life. Gong gong toa, gong gong chia, gong gong si in Hokkien means, with meaning, grow up with delusion, deluded while living life, and die deluded too. 傻傻的长大，傻傻的生活，是傻傻的死去。They exist. They go through all these phases of life, but they are not aware. That's why they are not living life. Unless you have the Dhamma, you are aware and conscious. Then you can truly live life. You can experience all of the pristine beauties and wonders of life, every moment and every instant of it. Your mind is completely silent and still, aware and within the moment, with the moment, not lost in thought, not agitated, not worrying here, worrying there, thinking here, thinking there, then stirring here and there, creating all the emotion and reaction to sense experience. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry. The reaction to sense experience is so strong. The duality keeps on arising, like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant. All this is heedless living. This is not true living. True living is when you are fully aware, in charge of your life, when you can understand things so clearly. You have that understanding, the wisdom, the Dhamma, and you can understand what the true nature is. The wisdom that is connected to it, and what this 5 degree of form and mind is, what thinking is, what sankhara activities are, what the karmic process is. Then you will know how to use it to live life, to live the meaningful life. That is why I always said the highest wisdom is to understand that the form and mind is a karmically conditioned vehicle and tool for us to come to this existential world. So use it and do not be deluded by it. Like what the fifth patriarch told Huineng. And when Huineng heard that, he immediately came to great awakening. My nature also can understand what these things are or was before I even read this 6th patriarch platform Sutra. That is why when I saw it on the internet, I knew that version was the correct version, correct translated version. The other version that I read, I will know is not so correct. That version that I choose and share in the Heart Sutra is the correct version. So far, that version is the best. And I only amended a bit of the English word. Most of it was beautiful because to translate from Dhamma into English is not easy. Translating it into Mandarin is easy because Mandarin is a Dhamma knowledge. But English is not so easy because English is a language that is not so spiritually orientated or inclined and conducive for spiritual communication, elaboration, and explanation. So to express it in English, when you translate, the meaning may not come out clearly unless you have the understanding within your nature or the profound understanding of its deep meaning when the Mandarin words are used. So this one I explained before. That is why all these are so beautiful. When I take the internet, then I take the internet source, that version, because the other version were less accurate. The first two versions sent to me were not accurate or correct. The explanation did not really reflect its true meaning. My nature understands and knows. Then I suddenly clicked onto the internet's 6th patriarch platform Sutra link, and so coincidentally came across this version, which is very good. Then I modify it a bit and share it in the Heart Sutra text. That's why the sharing turned out to be very good. Very good, Sister Pocheng. Sadhu to you. Then the next subsection is 3.3.2.2. The heading is feeling the heartbeat, the chi, and the warmth. So this one is shared by Yun Chan. I just want to add on to what Sister Pocheng mentioned. I have experienced this before for a while. I can feel the heartbeat, and after a while, the heartbeat sends the chi to the pumps. Then I can feel the warmth in the pump. I can also feel the warmth that comes. Also, sorry, that goes to. Then I continue. I try to explain to her before she finished that question. I ask her, can you feel the vibration in your palm area? That one is more important. You tend to be more sensitive to the chi flow. Yes, I think you have been trained in Reiki. Your sister Yin Chan has been trained in Reiki. I can feel it is the heartbeat that sends. Correct. That is the life force. The life force trigger of that pulsation. They call it the pulse of life. Then this one can be transformed into heat energy or whatever energy. And they can also be translated or transformed into vibration within your palms. That's why I ask you, can you feel the vibration within your palm? All of the vibration. So the next time you try, just put your palm on the floor or on your bed or on anything. Initially, you need to feel something to feel the vibration. But later on, without putting on anything, you can also feel it, like your heartbeat. Wherever you locate your awareness, you can feel the vibration, the pulsation. That is why, for those who have really trained their mind, the awareness nature is very stable already. Then wherever you put your awareness, you can feel everything because you are sensitive. And the mind is like an X-ray. And of course, you cannot see, but you can feel the sensation, the vibration, and which part of the brain is being responsible for that movement, that activity, and all these things. That's why we can feel our body condition very well. With the awareness, we can know many things within our form and mind. So what you experience is also good, but you are more sensitive towards chi because you used to do Reiki. Then Sister Yincha said, yeah, last time. Then later, you can try to feel the vibration or pulse on your palm. Initially, put it on the ground or on the cushion where you sit. Then silence your mind to feel it. I can feel the vibration on the palm. Oh, very good. If you can feel it, which means you know how to silence. If you are not silent, you cannot feel it at all because of the Sankara activity, the thinking, which is active or moving. But when you are completely silent, you become sensitive. That's why you can feel it, especially on the floor, because the floor is more cooling and the vibration becomes very distinct, very clear. Then later you can feel it on any cushion or whatever surface is in contact with. Then finally, the true sensitivity is where you don't put on anything. You just silent, relax, and maintain awareness. Then you develop the awareness of your palm area. You can feel it. So all these are exercises of awareness that you can do. That is why when you are at rest, waiting for something or resting, you just stay silent. Then you can feel all this movement, the vibration. Initially, it's very gross. Then as you allow it to be, don't do anything. It's like slow down, slow down, slow down. Then it becomes more and more subtle, more and more subtle. Then later, very quiet, very still, until no more Sankara activity, no more thought activity and movement. Then you experience a type of tranquility, stillness within your mind. That is meditation, the meditative mind. So you give it a try and do all these exercises and see how it goes. Then maybe later, you will be able to share a lot more of this beautiful happening. So yeah, very good, Jing. You can continue. So next section is 3.3.2.3. Question on cultivating daily mindfulness. Let's say for daily mindfulness, we are doing something and you are concentrating on what you are doing. And then you forgot to be aware of your bodily movements. Oh, I interrupted. I say, oh yes, I understand what you mean. You are in the initial stage of your cultivation. You are trying to be aware and yet want to do things. I already told you, you can only do one thing at a time. So when you are trying to understand something, you are aware from inside. Your awareness is there. When you are aware from inside, you can continue with your thinking, your planning, your reflection, your contemplation. But it is a creative process. You are not lost in thought at all. Any movement, any activity, the awareness is there. You want to be aware, you can be aware. But most of the time, it's like specific phenomenal awareness. Your awareness and the thing you are doing just move together as one. So it will not disrupt your whatever planning or things that you are doing. Like when you are cooking, you can still be aware and cook very well because you are able to do it with the understanding and training. The moment you are silent, you are already aware. So don't try to be aware. What you are doing is you are trying to be aware. Then you recall that you have totally lost your ability to be aware of your bodily movement and action because you think that is meditation. Having that thought is quite important, which is not wrong. But the actual understanding is not to go and allow the thought to come in and want to be aware. When the thought wants to be aware, it cannot be aware. You only need to remember to silence and relax. So when you train, you just determine to be mindful of all action and movement. Maintain the ability to be aware first. Only after you have trained until the awareness is very stable, only then you can move on to the next step of developing awareness while you are walking, while driving, while doing things. Do you understand, Yin Chan? Then Yin Chan replied, yeah, yes, acknowledging. Okay, so this daily mindfulness, please remember, very important. Just do, don't try to know. Don't try to develop any understanding. Maintain awareness from within. Then every movement, every action away. Like the Buddha said, standing away, sitting away, lying down away, then walking away. Whatever you do, maintain awareness. Then the intermediary movement, bending, stretching, turning away. Everything you do, body and mind move as one away. Don't try to know. Initially, like very clumsy, never mind. Like you cannot do it. Split second is gone. Means you are not graceful. It's like training to play any game. It's the same. Initially, you don't have skill. You don't have mindfulness. You have not trained. You cannot be in the moment spontaneously doing that thing. Means awareness and the thing as one spontaneously, like badminton or table tennis or what. You cannot just smash and flick or return based on your sati or awareness. When you are aware without thought, you act spontaneously. You just move. That's why just do. Don't try to know. Bowing, just body and mind bow. Until the awareness comes. When the awareness comes, you will understand. Because the awareness will see the movement, will be aware. Then you suddenly like, hey, how come now it's different? Now every action, every movement is like your awareness is with it. Like no thought in between, nothing to interfere. When you are silent and aware, the awareness come out, the mindfulness come out. That is what daily mindfulness is all about. That's why just aware. Formal meditation also same. Aware, finish. Stabilize the awareness. Then when you are in the midst of living life, the daily mindfulness training is the same. Whatever you do, aware. The stretching of the hand, aware. Take something aware. That movement entity as one. Don't try to know. Just do until it become a part of you. Then all of a sudden, like bowing or whatever, your mind enters sati. And when your mind enters sati, the former mind will know, because that whole thing is one with you. That is what training is all about. That's why heedless living, you are completely without mindfulness or awareness. That's why you cannot see. The brain is very, very active, constantly cluttered with all the thinking, the worry, the fear, the anxiety, the planning, the sorrow, whatever emotion that you hold on to, they clutter the mind. Why can't you just relax and be at peace? The trained mind is tranquil, still, silent, fully aware with you. No need to do anything. The untrained mind is like a devil's workshop. It runs around everywhere, think, and become like heedlessly lost in thought. Every day and then, it lashes on to things, mainly thought processes, sense experiences. Every moment of sense experience, they lashes on, they stir their mind, they react. Then the memory, the views, the opinion, the conditioning, the belief system condition the former mind into negativity of emotion. That's how duality arises. That's how suffering arises. That's how the evil roots arise. So the lack of awareness and mindfulness will make you heedless and develop the calming negativity without even the former mind understanding what is going on. So on this, hopefully, you will help. Okay, go back to the sharing. Then I continue. I say, actually, before you stabilize your daily mindfulness, you cannot do it. That's why I know why you have such a problem. Like you explain, and you are concentrating on something or trying to resolve something, your thoughts take over completely and make you heedless, where you have not developed the stability of daily mindfulness to enable you to be aware from within the heart area. That's why I always advise, when you need to stabilize that mindfulness, you train to stabilize it first. How do you stabilize it? Listen again. This one will help you, Yichan. A lot of people are like you, trapped at that stage or level. First, in the normal meditation, silent everything. Even if you are doing rising and falling or anapanasati, etc., just relax, maintain awareness, and develop the whatever anapanasati or rising and falling until the breathing becomes very subtle and very still, until the mind enters sati. When mind enters sati, you become very different. You and your form and mind will know. You must stabilize the awareness until that level of stability, even if you stay at the heart area. Even if you are able to stay at the heart area, is also the same. Meaning you need to stabilize the awareness of your heart area until it becomes very subtle and very still. When whatever meditation you do is also the same. You can maintain the awareness, then you are doing it correctly. It can be anywhere within your kaya or your body. Or you can do your walking, or you can also be in the lying down posture, or doing the bowing movement to do your awareness or mindfulness training. When you do all this training to stabilize the mindfulness or awareness, you must do it until the body and mind become one. They move as one in complete synchrony or harmony. That is the stability of mindfulness that you must have. Then there is no more issue of like you want to be mindful. Then suddenly you realize, how come all your actions are and movement, the awareness is within. It's like the awareness is part of you already, automatic. That is the stability you need. When the mind has entered sati, you will know. Because when you come out of it, all your movement are like magnified. All your action, your movement, even the slightest shift or movement is like magnified. Then the awareness is all the time there. Then you realize, last time you cannot be aware. Now strangely, the phenomenon and awareness can be seen to move as one. When you come out of the formal meditation, like the Buddha said, in the 4 posture training, from lying down to arising, sitting to walking, or standing, the awareness is always there. Then not only while walking, but whatever you do, the awareness is always there. You must reach that stability first. Then only you can translate it into driving, going to office, and everything else. That awareness training or mindfulness training, you must train it in stages. You must realize it, stabilize it. That's why the daily religious routine is important. Determine to be aware throughout the day. These are very important. Determine to be aware. Whatever you do, initially you cannot be aware. Never mind, just do. Like playing badminton. Initially the stroke is very clumsy, like not skillful, not graceful, not smooth. Never mind. Try, keep on trying until suddenly the stroke becomes very graceful. Daily mindfulness is the same. When you can be silent and determined to be aware of every action, every movement in the present moment, then the daily mindfulness will come. The other way is through formal meditation. Silent until the mind becomes very quiet, very still, and very subtle. And the object of meditation becomes very subtle, very still, until the mind enters sati. All mindfulness training is the same. When your formal meditation reaches that stage, its result is the same as your daily mindfulness development. And when you come out of that formal meditation, you can see your mindfulness or awareness and all other movement acting and moving together as one entity. So there is a stability that you need to establish. That's why it is not easy, but it can be done. And I did it within 2 weeks when I was determined to be aware in 1989. Then I realized after that my awareness is with me all the time. Then later when my mundane mind collapses, I don't have to be aware anymore. I don't have to do it anymore. I don't have to do anything really, because the nature has shined forth. And the specific phenomenal awareness and the spacious awareness without a center becomes a part of me already, automatic awareness. Like the mundane mind is completely gone. At that time, I also don't know what happened to that mundane mind. I just know there is nothing to cloud my nature anymore. The gross mundane mind with a lot of images and sankhara movement, a layer of consciousness is gone. That's why in everything I do, I'm in that silent awareness. That is why my nature can be aware of so many things. It is very sensitive. But no need to know everything. Why do you want to know everything? A lot of information is not necessary. But you can be sensitive. You are sensitive. You are aware. That's why I can see sign. I can feel sign. I can understand many things, including what a particular form of mind is going through. From their feeling, their sensation, their expression, and the way they express themselves, my nature can know roughly what the likely causes of their present condition are. That is the understanding and sensitivity that this nature can have. When the awareness within is so stable, then of course it comes with the wisdom born of cultivation. And when my nature inherits from my past, all this understanding come back to my nature. Then together with the form in mind, it animates and manifests into what you all call Brother Theo, this life segment that form a mind of mine. But that nature within, behind, is different. That nature is like any of the cultivator's nature. Even Kuan Yin has his nature. All the great beings, they have their own nature. So my form and mind also had that nature behind. So all this, as you go through the cultivation, you will come to understand. You will develop all this understanding that you can hardly find in books. And I also believe you cannot hear from other cultivator unless the cultivator has that understanding and ability, which is very, very rare, very advanced, and very beautiful. It is not easy to encounter cultivator who have all this understanding, but these are not the normal Dhamma that you can find in textbook. It is about cultivation, perfection, mindfulness, and awareness development. These are words, but the actual thing is so different. That is why after my explanation to you today, you can listen to all this again attentively, like what the song has done. You will progress very fast. Listen to it attentively over and over again. Then slowly, when you reflect and contemplate on them, do the cultivation. The understanding will come to you. Then you will progress very fast. So doing the cultivation is very important. Don't try to know. The reason being, without the daily mindfulness is very difficult. A lot of things I share for people without the stability of daily mindfulness, they cannot understand or penetrate. They cannot go in deep enough to develop the true understanding. Today's sharing is very good and will help you a lot, Sister Yan Chan. And then Yu Chan replied, okay, thank you, relative. Okay, I think we stop here, huh? Page 40, huh? Okay, so the next subsection 3.3.2.4 is people being unhappy with life. This one is shared by Jing, how I remember. Huh? Okay, we stop here. Okay, so I have already set the 45 minutes for meditation now. So you can continue with your awareness-based training. Remember to relax body and mind completely. Just silent everything. Don't try to know. Don't try to do anything. Just silent. Maintain awareness. And stabilize the awareness nature within. Whatever arises, aware, finish. That it arises, finish. Whether it's a thought, or a thought, or a sensation, or whatever movement, just aware that it passes. Aware, finish, aware, finish. In this way, you train your mind just to be aware, that's all. No need to do anything until it's stabilized. Yeah? Okay, so I will let you continue with your awareness-based meditation training. Okay, you can slowly, mindfully come out of meditation. try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. Okay, so now we will continue our second session, which is meditation reporting, followed by whatever question you may have. You can also describe whatever Dhamma sharing, Dhamma in daily life experience that you may have encountered or developed. Then we can together discuss the Dhamma and develop the understanding.
Yes, Bharatiya. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Okay, what I want to share.
Yeah, or you have any question or anything you want to ask, you can about the meditation or the Dhamma, you can also ask. Or today's topic that we have gone through, which is mainly mindfulness training and understanding.
Yeah. I was late this afternoon.
Oh.
So anyway, maybe I just want to ask. Maybe I just in the previous 2 classes, Bharatiya asked me to do repentance.
Yes.
Actually, I have been doing repentance for the past 1 year.
Oh, okay.
So, so still, there is. I have been doing it, but it seems there's no. How to say? So already been doing it.
Okay. Does it mean you don't see any result or what?
Yeah, in a way, maybe my cultivation.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I think I have to explain this. Many people fail to understand what repentance is. You see, asking for forgiveness or repentance is one of the understanding or cultivation to break whatever karmic obstruction that we might have developed from the distant past until now, which we may not know. And also, by doing so, it will help us in many ways. First is to establish the understanding that whatever negativity that we arise while living life, it has karmic implication. And because of that, after we have developed the Dhamma understanding, we come to know these are actions, speech, and thought process that we shouldn't arise. Because once the karmic implication is there, the karmic cycle will continue to manifest. Elsie, you can off your mic first or not? Or I ask you to mute you for... okay, thanks. So this karmic implication, once we understand, the only way for us to improve on all this or resolve it amicably is to initially ask for forgiveness or develop the repentance. So this one, you don't have to worry whether it works or it doesn't work. What is more important is to sincerely do it, like in the yellow card. There are 3 basic repentance to do. First is towards the triple gem. And second is towards all beings, in whatever manner, whether knowingly or unknowingly, from the distant past until now, whether we have caused them any suffering, misery, or whatever suffering or misery in whatever way, or misled and all these things, we like to sincerely ask for forgiveness. And may this sincere request for forgiveness be accepted by all. That's it. Once you have done it in front of the triple gem and resolve not to repeat all this from now onward, is the beginning of cultivation and training. Then, like I always say, don't be too eager to know whether we have progressed or not, whether what we have done is effective or not. What is important is to have the faith to do it. And once you have done it, that's it, finished, enough. Then the second part is to sincerely persevere, continue with the cultivation. So first is the faith to develop the understanding. And once the understanding is there, we start the cultivation. We do what we have to do. So asking for forgiveness and repentance is one of the required, I should say, understanding that we need to do in order to prevent unnecessary karmic obstruction or obstructing our cultivation. Because when karmic obstruction is still there, somehow we cannot progress. The thing is still there. Then this karmic obstruction, they will obstruct the individual. Yeah. Then when it obstructs, it's like something that obstructs the movement, the ability to receive the Dhamma, to understand things, or to develop progress. So that is one of the reasons why we do it. After you have done it for a period of time, then move on to the cultivation. Because the asking for forgiveness is a short duration only. After that, your daily religious routine, your whatever training, your whatever like awareness-based training, the one is more important. Once you develop that, then of course you also have the Avijja Sutra to follow, the various steps or sequence leading to enlightenment and all those things. Once you do all this, you develop the cultivation sincerely with understanding, then you will progress. Whatever that arises, like the Buddha said, there are causes and conditions behind. So this causes and condition behind is to help you break the karmic obstruction and move on with the cultivation so that you are not obstructed in any way. So don't go and make the mistake like some people who may not understand. After they do already, like initially, especially those who had the doubt, they said, like Brother Teo, I always heard from people that, but Teo, I have tried, but somehow I don't know what happened, like no progress. Sometimes all this can arise because of the mundane mind, the thought process. The mundane mind has its way of creating wrong view, delusion. And when you have this thought coming out, you lack faith, you lack confidence. And when the faith is not there, it will not move the mind to develop the virya. So Saddha leading to virya, these are the spiritual faculty that will move the cultivation. That as long as you are training the mind to be aware, to be mindful, leading to stability of it and heedfulness, then the rest is history. The cultivation move on by itself and you will progress. Well, like the Buddha said, heedfulness is the path to the deathless. The heedful never die. So what you should understand is after you ask for forgiveness, finish. Then just do. So the doing is to train your mind to be aware, stabilizing it, to develop heedfulness. So that you are heedful, you are no longer heedless. So that this heedful living will lead to the understanding of what is going on in life, understanding clearly who are you, what are you, and how you manifest as a living being. What is this form and mind all about? Then when you are aware and mindful, you can see the entire movement with absolute clarity and understanding. Then all the Dhamma that we have shared and you have learned will fall into place and like suddenly has meaning. That's why faith is very strong, Sada. Faith means don't try to know, don't try to like have any of this doubt, curiosity or worry or anxiety or whatever. That these are negative mind state or what the Buddha called mental hindrance that will hinder our mind from entering the meditative state of inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness, leading to heedfulness. So this part, hopefully it will help you, Elsie. So you don't worry about your like progress or whatever. Just do. Then have faith. Keep on moving. Whatever that happens in life, like the Buddha said, there are causes and conditions behind. So if we know there are causes and conditions behind, we accept whatever that has happened, the reality. So when this acceptance comes in, the mind becomes different. The mind got no more remorse, no more negativity, no more like having unhappiness and all those things. It get resolved there and then through understanding, the right view to accept whatever that has a reason, where there are causes and conditions behind. Then we do what we have to do to progress, to move on. So all this understanding, when it fall into place, you will know what to do. Hopefully, this will let you develop the understanding and the faith. Then once again, you can come back to the cultivation like before. So this phase that you go through, don't worry. It will come to pass, like everything. It will come to pass, good or bad. When the causes and condition is such, it will be this way. So now, when you understand all this, you just let things be. Then develop the understanding of what you need to do and continue with your training. Okay, Elsie?
Yes, Raju.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I didn't do enough also, and I will. My faith is not that, probably it's not that strong.
Yeah, recently, last time your faith used to be very strong, but recently, I think the last few years, maybe because of circumstances and conditions, sometimes all this, they call it the causes and conditions, the reality of life and existence, the coming thing. When they come, when they hit, it's not easy to endure, it's not easy to confront. Then when we already tried, like your case, so hard and like so much, and yet one don't see the result. That's why that mind will start to turn the other direction. That it loses its faith, it loses its confidence, the ability to like drive the mind to have that type of sada and virya again to move. So all this is what we call the mental delusion created by wrong view, by the thought. Because living being, you like it or not, before the wisdom come in, they can be caught in situation, in life entanglement, Then when this arises, the mundane mind actually has its power to condition delusion. And from there, all this will fall into place. That's why all this is also the result of the lack of wisdom and understanding. Because you lack wisdom and understanding at this phase, what I mean is this phase, then you have to go through all this. That's why to come out of it, you have to reflect, contemplate. What the Buddha said, whatever that arises, there are causes and conditions. So once you know that there are causes and conditions, which is mainly coming, you just come out of it and continue and move. Then no more remorse, no more unhappiness, no more of this and that. Then you start from fresh. That's why the acceptance will free your mind. It's nothing to do with whether you have done enough or not. It's more like you have not developed the clear understanding to move, to come out of it. I think you try very hard. That one is very obvious, which you have. But all this cultivation need understanding. Once the understanding is there, like I always say, meditation, cultivation need to be developed with understanding. When there is understanding, you progress, you overcome coming obstruction, everything very easily. But when there is no understanding, we fall into delusion. Then when delusion sets in, the wrong view will trigger the wrong approaches. That's why the mundane mind will start to have power over the living beings. And because of that, it becomes more and more difficult to come out of that cycle. They call it samsara. But don't worry, because of your earlier condition and faith, I think it will come to fruition later on. Maybe for the immediate, you have to go through this phase. This phase is a very testing and tiring phase that you have to break free. So have confidence, have faith, it will come to fruition. Hopefully when you can free your mind and let everything just through acceptance, whatever happened, that is the past. And the past, you already know you cannot change. So from now onward, to move, you have to accept what happened. Then don't go and worry about it, remorse over it, or do all the negativity of my state. No point. None of this will help us. The only thing that can free the living being's mind is to develop the understanding that to cultivate is to develop heedfulness. That's it. Go all out. Develop the spiritual faculty. Train your mind to be aware, heedful. In fact, this coming, the silent temple stay will help you. If you can develop the faith, then all this you can, like that 8 days or 9 days, forget about everything and just start afresh. Then cultivate sincerely. Then everything can become, like overnight, become different. The clarity, everything will arise. Okay, Elsie?
Yes, Brother Sadhu.
Yeah, Sadhu.
Yeah, I will do more reflection and contemplation.
Yeah. They have faith. Just do. Just cultivate. Past already gone. Finish. That phase no more. Whatever you need to do, you already done. Ask for forgiveness or what. Be sincere about it. Then after that, just let things be. Then whatever coming, let it pass. Once the acceptance is there, everything will start to reverse. Then your faith will drive you along the path of cultivation. Then this silent temple stay, I think, will be very useful for you. You like relearn everything again. Then from there, you develop the understanding to stay within the awareness nature, silent everything. Then from there, just develop the understanding. And through the understanding, your mind become different. Then there will be a lot of possibility of change and transformation, because when we are there, the condition will be different. And my nature know you have that parami, but this phase is very difficult for you. So don't worry, you will come to pass. It will come to pass, and you should be able to break free from that. Okay, do you have any other questions?
No.
Then you can nominate somebody. Say.
Yeah, before that, maybe I just share some experience recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I came back from my work, about 200 feet away. So there was I witnessed an accident.
Oh,
the car that the motorbike.
Oh, okay.
It's just 200 feet away.
Feet away, yeah.
Realize it, So I saw the motorbike. It was like once the car hit, the impact,
Yeah. Can be quite severe,
yeah, fell onto the road, and when I saw the motorist, so the motorist immediately fell on the road and
the pavement,
didn't move.
Oh.
So when I see the incident, this accident, so I was aware immediately. I had a very little fear, as compared with previous time. Very little fear that immediately it will just disappear.
Sadhu.
And then I was so mindful because the distance is quite near. 200 feet. As I almost passed, I carefully turned to the other side, and then I just sent some blessing to him, because I was
very good.
That the car behind cannot see, hit the motorist again,
Oh, that's bad.
So, but what I'm trying to tell that the fear is not so intense.
Yeah, it's not like previously.
Yeah. So this is my experience.
Oh, okay.
Good evening, Brother Teo. This is Teo.这个 LC 的分享，我也是有一点感想，想要分享了哈。
可以啊。
Actually, LC 要经过的 phases，actually 我们大家都经过。因为就是所谓的发心容易，持心难恒。
对，
所以这一个阶段，就好像 Brad 就给我们的faith就是一直走下去就对了。是的，还有就是 Brad 就讲的 understanding 是很重要，其实这个
最重要的，
很重要，因为如果你没有 understanding 讲啊，其实要 understand 就好像 Brad 就那天 explain 那个 four circle 这样子。
对。
其实要明白那个其实也不容易。
The process of creation. How we through the nature come out. Then from the pure awareness, how we created the mundane mind, the creation process. Then from the mundane mind, we create the phenomenal world, like real. 它那个 creation process 现出来了，就好像 everything is real. Then the living being gets deluded. That's where the confusion is. Then the delusion, condition, wrong view, born of delusion or ignorance. From there, the whole process starts, the karmic process. Then from the karmic process, you will condition, affliction, suffering, and also what we call samsara. That's why for you, it's good, Alicia, where you can see the importance of all this understanding. Once you understand how you become what you are, then you will know how to reverse all this and return all this through the meditative understanding. That's why that night, the Thursday class sharing, that few Thursday class sharing was very good. In fact, the next one, the coming one, but I think the whole of next week after Tuesday class, we will cancel the whole week. Thursday class onward. Tuesday is still on, this coming Tuesday. But Thursday class until the next Thursday, I have to cancel the class because I have to go back to Alaska, and I also want to have some time with my family. So that whole week I have made the decision to cancel our usual classes. So either Thursday until the next Thursday, the class will be off. We will only come back the following Sunday. So 4th is Thursday, 5th, 6th, 7th, the class Sunday class commence again. But this Tuesday, coming Tuesday, is on. So what I want to let you all understand is, like what Alicia has managed to develop the understanding is very good. The Thursday class are very good. Meditation need to be done with understanding, and the creation process together with the Trinity triangle to develop the understanding of what is living and what is cultivation. The triangle is a very good explanation. Then this coming after that whole week over, the following week, the Thursday, I will be sharing Appendix 6 of the Heart Sutra. Go back and read out the Appendix 6 of the Heart Sutra. It's very good. It's about the untrained mind, the trained mind, and the cultivation. That one, once I go through with you all will understand better. Because that one is the result of a lot of sharing that I gave during the early days. And from the short notes, everything that we collected, and we combine them together. We have through some feedback from Kayamita. They told me it's very good. And I compiled them and I decided to put it under Appendix 6, which is a very long appendix, but it's very beautiful. A lot of very important pointers on cultivation are all there. So salute to you, Alicia, you are right in pointing out all those things. You can continue.
Salute to you. 你应该很久也没有回家了。
是啊，因为我大哥他们也希望我回去一趟啊，那我也要do something when I'm back there.
Yeah. Okay, Brother, actually, talking about 那个要。因为 Brother 以前都告诉我们要先学会 see the form, after that go beyond.
Correct. Let's see beyond form.
现在我开始明白。
Yeah. That's why 你有了那个 mindfulness， 你就看得到。You have to learn to see form, the unreality of form, then see beyond form. Otherwise, 你不能够看透 form. That's why 心经讲form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. So form does not differ from emptiness, and emptiness does not differ from form, because form itself is actually emptiness, and emptiness itself is form. So to understand this, you have to have the ability to train your mind to develop the mindfulness to see the three phases. First is to see form. How do you recognize form? How do external form comes into the five aggregate to become mental form? Then when you start to see, you will have the ability to see the unreality of form. Well, these forms are dependent, originating, condition arising, cause of not real, not what you think. Then later on, how do you know that form is through the mind again? The perception, that's like the unreality of form. First is the paticca samuppada, dependent, originating, condition arising, cause of phenomenon, impermanent characteristic. Then after that, you see the unreality, because this thing is not what you think. How do we know that form? It's only through a mental perception. You perceive it with the mind, the aggregate of sanya. And that one is just an image. Externally already not so real, dependent, originating. Then how do you know it's a form? It's only through an image, a mental perception. It's even more unreal. Then why do you cling onto it, hold onto it, and give meaning to it? That is delusion. That's why when you start to see all this, you start to see the universal characteristics of impermanence. Then when you attach, cling, and grasp one thing's your way, which is not nature's way, you realize you suffer. Then you realize everything is dependent, originating, condition arising, cause of the known, not a permanent and changing entity where we can hold on to, cling on to, grasp on to, and say, this is me, this is I. Therefore, the anatta nature, followed by the empty nature of existence. That's why we will see that. So when you start to see form, you will be able to see the unreality of form. Then when you see the unreality of form, you can see beyond form. That's why the three stages. And now you can see all this and understand it so much better because your mindfulness has stabilized, your awareness and your contemplative wisdom together with your direct seeing. You already went through the process. That's why you can appreciate all these phases. Then after that, you look at the mind. Because like we went through, initially from the source, we come out as a pure awareness. Then we created the mundane mind. This mundane mind created the phenomenal world of form and consciousness. That's why not until you can see beyond form continue to have power over living beings. That's why delusion continues. Self-delusion, ignorance, saccadity, where we grasp and cling on to form. Then when form has lost its power, then we still have the mind to deal with. That's why we return external form of phenomenal world back to the mundane mind. So this mundane mind, like the form, we have to learn to see it with what? With mindfulness. We have to see the mundane mind, its movement, its manifestation, its limitation, everything. Then we see the unreality of this mundane mind. It's also dependent, originating, condition arising, cause of phenomenon. That's why the Buddha said the five aggregate of form and mind are empty. Then only we have the power to see beyond mind. When we see beyond the physical form, beyond the mundane mind, what do we see? After that is our pure awareness. That's how we go back. Then when we see the pure awareness, we know this is the nature that can develop the meditative understanding, the direct seeing, the awakening the understanding. That's why all meditations start from here. That this is the first entity to come out from the source. Then from there, you can use it for living to create mundane thinking, mundane activity, then the mundane mind trigger of the phenomenal world. That is one way where most living beings, 99.999%, all go this way. Whereas the other way, which is the awareness-based meditative way, through the direct seeing and the silent mind, or the meditative mind, the pure awareness, when you use it for meditative training, then you silence everything and develop the stability of awareness to insight into phenomena, to see things as they are. Means that silent mind develop the direct seeing to awaken, to develop the wisdom and the understanding down there. Then this all, when connected to the five aggregate of form and mind, will enable us to have the wisdom to live life, the noble living, the heedful living. And this is how we understand life, the secret of life, and how we move. Then, through all this understanding, when the wisdom is stable enough, then it will lead to the transformation that the pure awareness also sees. Then we return to the source. We return to the unconditioned. We realize what we call Nibbana. So the realization of Nibbana is what enlightenment is all about. You realize the unconditioned. Then from there, after the condition is over for the pure awareness to come out again and develop back to normal consciousness to become a living being again, or a human being again, you will see the whole process. Then you understand how the creation process is, how it starts, and how it moves to what you are. That's why I say you will come to understand who are you, what are you, and how you function as a human being, and how you interact with the world. How do you know the world? So all this become very clear. So sadhu to you, Alicia, because you can understand. Very beautiful.
Sadhu Pradu, 这个是我这一次来最大的收获，在 Pradu 这里学习到所有的一切，因为以前的生活不是这样子，因为以前就是每天就埋怨了。
对，a lot of negative thought 埋怨
现在是很踏实，每天都觉得不会觉得辛苦，因为你真的是怎样讲，实实在在的活着来了，
对
human being这样子。
对，
所以我觉得这个佛法真的是，I mean 我不能够言语去 explain 它，实在是太奥妙了，因为
太奥妙，太 wonderful 了。
understanding 哦，你整个人哦，他不是一个like 你起初会觉得你学的时候好像很苦，可是当你明白了之后哦，这一切我们所经历的所谓的苦，就是帮我们铺这个资粮去我们的 future 的所有的 cultivation。所以我觉得真的我很感恩啊 Pradu。I mean I really feel full of gratitude, especially with Pradu 的 explanation 啊。我真的是能够慢慢的学习到 how mind works， you know， 你会知道 mind how mind create， like 你会现在开始明白对方为什么他会这样讲。
对，
因为他的 mindset 是这样，所以可是你又不会跟他一般见识，那个是很难得，他好像是一个怎样讲不？就一个 internal transformation 哦。
对，
就是他讲什么
了解了吗？你就能够接受他的 condition。
对，好像你就是就是他讲什么，你就停在那边讲，你的心不会被他 弄到你很烦恼这样子，那个是我觉得是非常的珍贵啦，这个
对
所谓的 cultivation，
对，
所以
你有
我觉得
了那个佛法的智慧啊，你就不会给这种东西影响到，你能够接受。一般的人是这样的 ，the living being are just the way they are. Deluded people do deluded things. Ignorant people do ignorant things. Selfish people do selfish things. 你就能够了解。但你看到这些movement的时候，就好像刚才你 explain 的 ，it will become so wonderful, so beautiful. Then it is so rewarding because the understanding completely transform and free you. So that word is rewarding. 真的 like it make you so different. Like the 收获很质的很大的收获。It's like you say this line, this is the biggest thing that you have reaped from the understanding of this cultivation. And it really transforms the individual completely until you realize that this is so beautiful, so rewarding. And not only this life, for your entire future coming, the future arising understanding. This is what the Bodhisattva's understanding and mind is. That every line they come with joy. They come with this understanding. That's why 真空妙有 very true. Within true emptiness is wonderful existence. And life is so meaningful, so rewarding when you have the understanding. Everything will fall into place. So with this, I think all Kayamita cultivator will have more faith and develop the ability to understand all this. Then the joy will surface. And maybe in years to come, like I share with some other Kayamitas too, the way we share Dhamma, the way we speak will be very different. Like the way you understand it has transformed you all. My nature really rejoice. Sadhu. 很好啊。
Brother 感恩，非常感恩，能够在 Brother Dio 这边学习的，哇，真的是。其实我有时我很想 after Brother 的 sharing， 我很想跟大家分享的是说，其实我的言语已经讲不出来那种感恩，
但你用华语很好，
对，非常难得，
对，
所以我都希望所有的凯阿米达跟我一起 progress along the path of Dhamma， 因为如果走不出来我那天after 我跟朋友分享了一些东西之后，然后当我走着的时候，哇，那个 fire sermon came to me，
哇，
其实我也不懂，其实 fire sermon 以前 Brother 有教过我们 fire sermon，
对，
那个 fire sermon 就是我所看到的，就是如果你没有那个佛法，你就是每天在着火，而你就在火堆里面，你走不出来。对
，everything is burning. The eye is burning. Every phase of mindfulness that comes in, the wise one, the awakened one, they will know it's burning. That's why the world is burning. Consciousness that arises through seeing is burning. All the sense door. The wise one who has awakened, they will have this understanding. 他不敢碰了的，他不会无明了的，不能够给他 like deludedly draw and become heedless again. Cannot really, because they are so mindful, so aware, so sensitive. The understanding is there. The fire sermon is very beautiful. Everything is burned. The world is burned. Sense data 还没有进来 is burning. Then the consciousness that arises upon contact is burning. then everything inside that leads to the Paticca Samuppada, finally the subject is burning. That's why those deluded ones actually 很苦. They suffer a lot because when they go through life without the Dhamma understanding, they really become miserable, afflicted. Although they also go through what they call the conscious moment, where they live the mundane life or mundane excitement and confusion. They will go through the ups and downs of existence, the realities of life. Then they encounter a lot of this, what they call karmic repercussion, duality, and all those things. And most of the time, they are heedless, deluded. They don't have understanding. They don't know what is going on in life. They are lost in thought most of the time, very confused. So all these are really beautiful understanding, and the Dhamma dawn upon the individual. You need to have the Dhamma to understand all this, to see all this, and express the gratitude, the joy, the understanding, like what Alicia you have done. It's very beautiful. Sadhu to you. And how?
Hello, brother Dio. 还有 brother Dio， 我想 share 一个 experience 啦。我的 meditation 其实也不是 meditation。有一天，当我要准备睡觉的时候，然后我下去楼下，然后 Freddy 就看 TV，然后我站在 TV 前面的时候看到的 TV 的那个画面好像动画电影like a 3D。
Sadhu. Wow, means your mindfulness is very stable already. Yeah, your internal awareness very stable already. Otherwise, 你看不到这些东西。
I was like, 什么来的？
对，你会 manifest 给你看的。
It was like there for a while, like 我就问阿松，你有试过有看动画电影这样吗？他讲哪里有这样的东西
？Yeah, sadhu, very good.
就真的是这个 journey is so beautiful.
Yeah, so beautiful.
Yes.
When you go through this phase, you will progress very fast. Because all these are the result of your hard work, the earlier diligence, your faith. Your saddha, your virya, leading to the stability of mindfulness and your ability to detect your gateway to your true nature. That's why all this transformation can happen, and the mind can have this ability. Even the TV, I remember 1989, I went through the same. It's like that TV book, the whole thing. All the pixel, the color, everything, and no word on that movement. Wow, no matter how fast my awareness is, then it's like, like that one. I want to know, I can know, I don't want to know. Nothing, it's just that movement. That's why the whole nature, the mindfulness, the awareness, it manifests. And that time I remember my mundane mind hasn't collapsed. But I was able to see that already. That's why that phase is very important. When you go through that phase, a lot of things will happen. Then you will realize a lot of things. We can do a lot of things. Then the cessation, everything will come. Then you keep on arising the wisdom, the uniso manasikara. Then life itself is the greatest Tao Mandela for cultivation. Then everything in life is Dhamma. That's why after that you understand Dhamma is everywhere in the midst of life and nature. The universal characteristic, the truth, the Dhamma, the essential Dhamma, they are there everywhere in the midst of life and existence. Then the wise one will know, why can't you see? The one who see, they always see. That's why truth is always within the moment. It's not in the knowledge or the thought process. It's the awakening understanding. Every moment, every instant, the truth is there. The Dhamma is there. So all this expression of understanding will surface, will come out from that nature. Then there will be a lot of joy, like what you are going through. So this is really beautiful. Sadhu, Alicia.
萨土 Radio 感恩 Radio 还有我们所有可爱米达的分享，才能够 inspire 我去走这个道。
Yes, Rachel, good evening, and good evening, Mrs. Teo. Thank you, Alicia and Elsie, both also have a very good sharing. And especially Alicia, the understanding is already more compared to past sharing. I think she have a lot of insights now.
Very different.
Yes. Okay, for my side, more on the changes, especially now, we have to actually subject to a lot of changes due to the uncertainty in the COVID.
Yeah, correct.
But luckily, spiritual Dhamma had helped a lot.
That was very
where we have the understanding, and it actually the mind is more on acceptance. Wherever changes that come, there is no the mind doesn't seem to have any interpretation like last time or any judgment.
Correct.
It's more on resolve, and it's just a flow. You don't even expect any.
Correct.
So and the supports come in a very beautiful way.
Oh, sadhu.
So you didn't expect any, but the thing is like recently the Guan Tan, there are so many changes where you can't plan because of certain people supposed to send something, at the end they got COVID. Certain people supposed to come, then they got COVID, you know. So all these things can, if you compare to last time, I'll be more agitated.
Sadhu. Wow, very good.
But now it seems that's why I can realize more space in the mind, and there is actually a lot of flow, and it gives you a lot of contentment, tranquility, and you don't like I must have to do this, I must have to do that.
You no longer rigid like last time.
All this like it's not there already.
Correct. You will have that type of thought. You assign the duty already. You must do. Why you didn't do?
I have all this, but now seems to be more focused. It's more collected, more focused.
Correct.
And the mind less chattering.
Yes.
And recently, I talked about the Sutra talking about the qi. I also have this qi gong or this thing. So I noticed that there's a difference between awareness, because
a lot of difference.
In qi you can't aware.
You cannot be aware.
Awareness,
you're directing the energy.
But in awareness,
the thought is directing.
Correct. It's actually build up the qi.
Then, build up the qi, and you focus, you concentrate, and you build up.
Right. Then I noticed that in awareness, it actually can go together with the qi and merge and dissolve it. It can. And that's very soothing.
Any of all this, but finally, when you locate it through awareness, the gateway, all this energy that you have built up, the qi or whatever, whether Tantian or anywhere, they will flow and melt into your gateway and become pure energy again. That's why the two cultivation, if you understand, it is complementary. But the first one, those who play with energy and qi, if you do that, your yin yang become out of balance. Or the wisdom come in. Because before the wisdom come in, the yin yang cannot be balanced. Then when the yin yang become imbalanced, it's like no outlet. Your qi got no outlet. So because of that, they have to use it for psychic. But some who are good, they use it to heal. To heal, of course, they say help people and all those things, like Reiki or whatever. But all this has its karmic effect, and they don't know. That's why people who touch all this, they have to face the consequence of it. Then the other thing is, for cultivator who have the metta and all say, they can relate it to loving kindness, to metta, to all this wholesome mind state, gratitude, contentment. That one is better. If you can relate it through that one, then finally the heart there, the chakra will open up. Then they will locate the gateway also. Then they can also go in. But those who use for psychic, they develop the jhanic experience and all the one point or that one very difficult. That one will have a lot of karmic things behind. Then it can lead to like delusion and psychic ability that will lure a lot of this Mara and non-human to come and challenge them. Then because of karmic, a lot of what they call karmic repercussion that need to be resolved. And that whole arena is very toxic, especially those who do energy field, very toxic, like 江湖的道场. Oh, a lot of people will come and challenge you, and funny thing, take revenge and all those things, because the delusion is still there. You can continue, Miss Lee. Now you understand, it will help you.
I know I can be aware of that. So that's why I find that in the metta, it is slightly different from last time that
definitely.
we do it.
When you have the wisdom, the metta also transform.
It's different because last time when the middle of the night, when you have the dog barking, all that. Then but this time you seem to know it, have the awareness, and the metta come out by itself. But the funny thing is when the metta come out, the dog stop. The barking stop.
It's very soothing one. They can say it's from the heart come out by itself. That's why there are 3 stages of metta. One is you will it through the thought process. Then the first one is, of course, more elementary. That one is you use the mundane mind to read it. Means you like verbalize, parroting. There is no feeling from your heart. When there is feeling from the heart, you will it out. Then the third phase is what you just now mentioned. If you can do it, it's very good. When nature was do. The third phase is when the metta is already there, when you have metta already. Then that metta means the loving kindness from your heart. It flow out. You don't need to do anything. It just come out. Or that one, when it come out, the animals will feel, the non-human will feel everything. When I was in Australia, that dog, I told you, and many other occasions, that metta come out on that time. But it's phase by phase. When that phase comes, it will let you see, it will let you understand. Then you move on again. So all this is like, you let you glimpse through what you have cultivated before in the past. Then you like glimpse through the whole thing. You like move through the whole cultivation very fast, back to the level where you're supposed to develop your continuation of cultivation. That's why able to locate the gateway to our nature is also very important. At the later stage, you need all this, because otherwise you cannot inherit all your past spiritual understanding and cultivation. Then this metta level is easier. Initially, after you reverse your cultivation back to awareness base, then the metta can come out. Then you must have a lot of love and kindness and all those things. And this one will flow from that nature out. Then during that time, it will open up your heart area. They call it the main chakra, the heart. The heart need to open up, I realize, for you to have the sensitivity, then the awareness only can slowly develop. Without the heart opening out, the awareness cannot come out. Because the whole thing is still like, there's a layer of thing like clouding it, especially the mundane mind and the delusion. So all this, when the thought is deluded, heedless, active, that nature cannot shine forth. That's why the heart chakra cannot open up. Then no need to talk about locating the gateway and all those things. The heart chakra must open up. But that's why when we pay respect, it's towards our heart. It helps to open up really slowly. Then when we meditate anapanasati, it also go back to the heart. Then when we are at the heartbeat, the awareness of it, it also help to open up. But when you develop awareness of it, you don't use thought or energy to force it open, then there is not they call it meddling or interfering. When you use thought, it's external interfering. But when you use awareness, it's not interfering. It's just aware. But without the gateway, there is no outlet. It cannot be released. It cannot flow out. That's why most people who do energy field, they get the yin-yang problem. They got the energy field trapped inside their problem. They cannot release. They cannot have a way to flush it out or to release it. So most of them are trapped in energy field. So this part, very few people can break free or progress further because they don't know what is this. And they touch energy field and they like energy field because initially it's very beautiful. The mind state, everything, like the psychic, the jhana, everything is very beautiful, where you never experienced before. But later on, when you understand what awareness is, that one is actually, like Krishnamurti called, nothing, paper tiger. It looks like a tiger, very fierce, but it's actually made of paper. Nothing. Because the thought base, the energy base, that one is nothing compared to that pure awareness. That's why if you have developed the meditative understanding, you will understand. I explained the 3 levels of seeing. First is form. So the form, our mundane mind can see form, we can perceive form. That's why form has lower intelligence than the mundane mind. So the mundane mind can see form. Likewise, our awareness can see the mundane mind, can see the aggregate of mind. But mundane mind, cannot see the awareness because the awareness has higher intelligence, has higher wisdom and understanding. That's why the awareness can be aware of the mundane mind, can be aware of external form, everything. So this awareness is actually of higher intelligence than the mundane mind. And the mundane mind has higher intelligence than the external form. So when you play with energy, it's actually at the mundane mind level. They call it the thought level. So thought is actually energy. The form is trapped energy. That's why E equals to mc squared, which is Einstein's formula. Energy E is equals to the mass times the square of the speed of light. The trapped energy that is trapped in form is very, very powerful, very high. That's why it can go nuclear, everything. But when it is released, the energy become energy. It's not trapped. That's why mind has the power. It can actually develop into psychic phenomena and very strong energy. And it can transform, of course, can move and all these things. But all these are limited in the sense that it's still thought-based. within the field of thought. It cannot go beyond thought. That's why if you do it and use it for cultivation, you will go wrong. You will go astray. You will develop delusion. So all this understanding will surface. So this creates the condition for me to explain why thought-based energy, you have to be careful. So sadhu to you, Miss Lee, for having this understanding and condition to bring up all this. It's very good, sadhu. So you
Thank
are
you.
going
Right,
to...
so it's very good explanations, because I noticed that awareness is it give you a very open, spacious,
it's a free mind. You feel
it's a very free mind.
There is no condition state inside there. That one is, you are completely free. And that tranquility, the stillness is so different from the one in energy, one-pointedness, absorption, all those things. Very different, the two. You go through the awareness-based cultivation, then you will understand. And most people cannot see the difference because they don't know that there is an awareness-based meditation. They don't know that there is this nature behind the thought. So that understanding, like the day I explained the process of creation in the Thursday class, people can't even realize the pure awareness. What do you expect them to have the ability? There is no way that they can touch that nature inside. Because if the pure awareness also, they cannot stay there, they cannot stabilize it, they cannot understand that nature. They can only see the thought process, the mundane mind. That's why they stay at the two. The mundane mind, through delusion and heedlessness, create the phenomenal world, samsara, the coming thing, and all those things. They are trapped there. The cultivator of the way who go the awareness base can return to the pure awareness. That stabilize it to return to our nature. The Buddha nature, the true nature, the oneness nature, all this. These are words. But those who do, they will know that this thing exists. But like I said, it's not a being. How and live life. That is the big difference. That's why when you stay with that thing, it's completely free. It's a free mind that is aware. That's it. No word, nothing. No duality. No this, no that. That's why the Heart Sutta also explained it. In true emptiness, 生老病死的苦集灭道, all doesn't exist. All this only exists within the existential world, within the conditioned world. This is beautiful. All these are the conditions for all the sharing to come up. Sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sadhu to all Kalamitas.
Yeah. That's why this coming silent temple retreat will be very good, very beautiful.
Roger, will you have Zoom section during the time?
What is it?
Will you have a Zoom section during the retreat?
Depend on the internet there, or if they don't have the proper internet connection. I was told by Sui cannot. The internet has to be stable. We will try. I don't know. I hope they subscribe for the Wi-Fi. If they subscribe for the Wi-Fi.
Can we? Wi-Fi data cannot. Not enough.
You need the unlimited data one. Anybody has unlimited data.
Unlimited data.
Then you must have 4G transmission there, so we say.
You mean the phone or the account?
No, account.
Account I have.
The signal there, sorry.
Okay.
There.
The signal.
Because you may have the account, but if like your phone can be Maxis or DG, but the signal there may not be strong enough. We can try. We can give it a try. Hopefully the signal has improved. Last time I remember during the early years, 2-3 years ago, 2009, the signal cannot be detected when you are around the monastery. You had to go higher up. the top of the hill there or somewhere higher up. Otherwise, the signal is very weak. Now, I don't know. We have 2-3 years we are not there. We will try. Don't worry. When we are there, we will try. Huh?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we now it's 6:04.
Yeah, we should end already. Huh? So, sadhu. Huh?
Thank you.
Yeah, let us rejoice and thank all the good sharing. Huh? We should thank Sister Elsie, Sister Alicia, and Sister again, Miss Lee, for all the good and beautiful sharing. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, we'll do the sharing of merit, transfer of merit, and the closing puja. Akasata cha pumata Devanaga Mahindika Punyang Tang Anumoditwa Chirang Rakantu Lokasasana Ita Wata Ja'amehi Sampadan Punya Sampadan Sabbe Deva Anumodantu Sabbasampati Siddhya Idang menya tinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang menya tinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang menya tinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Dewo wasatu kalena sasa sampati hetu cha. Vito bhavatu loko cha raja bhavatu dhammiko imina punyang kamena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, you all can now mindfully pay respect to Lord Buddha, Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we will end the whole Zoom session. Thank you so much for your participation. Sadhu.